Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're having a really beautiful week so far. In today's video, we are going to be doing a little energy update and check-in for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. And I have to tell you, I was really excited to come on today just to let you know what I'm drinking. You guys know I love to let you know when I have a coffee or some kind of drink during these readings. So today I have a very fall-oriented drink. So I have a pumpkin spice latte, and it's iced with oat milk and pumpkin cream cold foam, and it is amazing. It's so good. I didn't really think that I liked pumpkin flavoring when I had it a couple years ago, but I tried it again this year and I am really, really loving it. So let me know in the comments if you are eating or drinking anything during this reading. I always love hearing from you and, of course, hearing how you're doing and what's going on in your life. I really feel like the comment section is such a beautiful, high vibrational space. And it's really that way because that's what you've made it into by sharing your own thoughts and stories and ideas and energy in the comments. So thank you so much for the role that you play in co-creating with me here on this channel, because I really do believe that every video, every piece of content, and really everything here, every song, it's all co-creating. So thank you for being part of that. Speaking of songs, I am just now in the process of releasing my third song. It is finally complete. You guys know I've been talking about this for a couple weeks and it's taken some time to get it completed, but I am finally done now and ready to release it to the world. So I don't know if it's going to be public as of when I post this reading, but I will update this video with a link to the song on Spotify as soon as it drops there, even though it might take a couple days. And if you are not following me on Spotify yet, it's a great place to follow if you do want to be updated whenever I post new songs, because not only do I share songs, well, I share them across streaming platforms, but they tend to drop first on Spotify. But also on Spotify, you can reference all of the lyrics. And because I do consider these to be channeled songs in a similar way to how these readings and videos are channeled, often you may find that there are specific messages for you that come through the lyrics. So yeah, you can easily reference the lyrics while you're listening on Spotify. And I am going to go ahead and get started with today's reading. I have no idea what is going to be coming through this video today, but for some reason I was getting the words spring cleaning, which is interesting because where I am in the world, it's actually, well, I don't know when fall officially begins, but we're on the cusp, at least, of entering into the season of fall. But I know that if you're in the southern hemisphere, it would be the opposite. So you would be more so in that season of spring or entering into that. So maybe I am speaking to someone from the southern hemisphere. For some reason, I'm hearing something about Australia, which, by the way, I had a chance to visit Australia and New Zealand a couple years ago, and they are some of my favorite countries in the world. They were both absolutely beautiful. So I really, really enjoyed your country if you are from Australia or New Zealand. And there are so many other places that I want to visit. So if you live somewhere in the world that you think I should visit sometime, let me know. I'll add it to my bucket list. But the way that we're kind of on this subject of travel does make me think that I could be channeling specifically for someone who has more of a nomadic spirit. So you could be someone who is grid working actively, and grid working could be as simple as being drawn to go to a new park or a new store or a location Essentially, when you are a grid worker, you are drawn to different locations in the world for the purpose of just existing in that space. In fact, often when you are a grid worker, something strange that happens is you will feel drawn to a place. And then once you get there, you might just like be meditating or reading or journaling or just relaxing there or creating or something like in that geographical location. And it can be kind of strange because you can travel so far to experience a place, but then want to spend a lot of time almost just kind of immersing there instead of being super active. I feel like I'm speaking to a very specific person or group here. But anyway, if you've ever felt this or even felt that in your local area where you felt guided to drive to a particular place, but then you just kind of were sitting in your car, like observing the place or just experiencing the energy of being there. If this has ever happened to you, then you may be a grid worker, whether you've realized that you're doing this consciously or not, because many people who are grid workers, I'd say even most, are doing so unconsciously. They don't necessarily know why they're drawn to certain locations or places, but their presence there is transmitting a kind of energy that is having an impact, and equally, they are actually receiving energy from that space, from that location as well. There's actually a mutual exchange going on as a grid worker. It works both ways. So not only are you transmitting energy, but you are receiving energy that can activate you and unlock parts of yourself or your own energy in unique ways as well. For some reason, right at the beginning of this reading, I was getting the letters J and also A, M, E, and S, which I know spell the name James, but that letter J was just standing out really strongly. So maybe someone's name begins with a J or something like that. But anyway, a card did fall onto the floor, and I love that this is the first card that we're pulling because this is the World card, which speaks to harmony, fulfillment, completion. And I'm hearing full circle moment, like something in your life is really coming full circle. I feel like for someone I am speaking to here, there's some kind of seed that you planted a while ago. And I'm talking, this could be years and years ago. Like you had some kind of dream or idea and you buried it. Well, this is reminding me of a reading I did a while ago where I said you were burying something thinking that you were like letting it go, but it was actually not just being buried, it was being planted. Of course, if you're a gardener, you could say that you're burying seeds, but you're actually setting the intention for them to grow again. And I feel that's somehow relevant for someone, like you put something to rest in a way. And from all external perspective, it could have looked like you were burying that dream or that idea or that part of yourself, but you knew deep down in your soul that you were going to revisit it, that you were going to resurrect it, that it was going to come back better than before is what I'm picking up on here. Like you let something go knowing it was actually going to return back to you in a different, better form, that it was going to have some kind of full circle moment. And that's exactly what seems to be happening here now. So I don't know if this is like a past relationship or connection or a dream or an idea or a vision from your past. Take it however it resonates for you. Can I get any more information on this full circle moment? Okay, interesting. So we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Wands. So you are clearly the Queen of Wands in this scenario, but I'm trying to figure out what's happening with this Queen of Pentacles reversed. I feel like this could be another energy. I'm hearing you are set apart, you stand out. So I'm actually getting that my guides are saying this isn't necessarily a specific person. They're trying to draw a contrast here. And they're trying to put into words how different you are from energies around you and why you are standing out so strongly at this time. Because you are this Queen of Wands. You are in this beautiful magnetic state of being. You're very confident. There's something in your life that you're really passionate about, whether it's some kind of cause or some kind of idea or vision or hobby. I feel for some of you, this passion is at its core a passion for this new iteration of you, this new version of you that's been emerging from the cocoon here. There could be Pisces or Aries energy in someone's birth chart here. Yeah, with the Eight of Pentacles, I get the feeling that you've cultivated this version of you that you are now existing as. I'm hearing you've built this version of you brick by brick. There's something about your energy that looks so effortless right now that people may not realize how intentional and detailed and gradual this process has been for you. I'm hearing exact visions are coming to life or will be soon. So for many of you, there are literally exact visions or dreams or ideas that you may have had when you were younger, some of which may have seemed fantastical, that are going to be manifesting on this timeline that you've aligned with. Now, for some reason, I am getting all of these chills, which always tells me this is really going to resonate for someone, but that it also might be very specific to a certain group of people. So, of course, use your intuition here. But I am so strongly getting the energy of, and I can't believe this person is coming up right in the middle of this reading because we've been like 11 minutes in and like, why are they coming up now instead of at the beginning? But I feel like that represents how this person tends to behave in the 3D. So this may be someone who like watches you or keeps an eye on you silently and you feel their energy really heavily, but they don't necessarily make a move towards you. And what I'm getting is, this has been so complicating for you because I'm getting that you are someone who has really learned how to deeply love yourself and respect yourself. And anymore, you have so much self-respect that you will not cling on or hold on to a fantasy with a person, especially romantically. You won't obsess over a person because you know how valuable your energy is. So you know that, ooh, this is going to be a message for someone. This is getting pretty quantum, but in the past, you may have had a tendency to quote unquote obsess over certain people or energies. And what you didn't realize is the reason you felt compelled to do that at times is because you had many people who subconsciously recognized the value of your energy and your focus, but would not publicly give it that same recognition, would not publicly acknowledge your value or your worth. So you've had people in the past who actually would consciously or unconsciously, most likely unconsciously, manifest you to obsess over them. And stay with me because I know this sounds strange, but they would want your energy constantly upon them in that way, constantly feeding into them because it boosted their ego. It literally boosted their actual physical energy levels. It made them more creative, more inspired. It was bringing in more opportunities in their life. And you may have thought that you were obsessing because there was just something wrong with you or it was just random. But in actuality, this person's soul on a deeper level recognized the value of having someone as powerful as you thinking heavily about them. And so they were pulling on your energy in such a way that was, because you're also very heightened in terms of your sensitivity spiritually, because you are someone who's very psychic, which by the way, being psychic and being energetically sensitive are literally one and the same. When we call someone psychic, we are just talking about specific ways that they are utilizing their energetic sensitivity to perceive and read and interpret energies in ways that help to either predict outcomes or commune with the spirit realm or receive messages or energetic downloads, but being psychic and being energetically sensitive are two sides of the same coin. So you are someone who is both. You are very psychic. Whether you realize that or not, you have gifts and abilities. Now, being psychic doesn't literally have to be that traditional kind of idea that we are planted about being psychic, where there's just someone with like a crystal ball, predicting the future. Being psychic can come in many different forms. You can be someone who has an ability to read and perceive futuristic potential timelines. You can be someone who can tap into the Akashic records, the library of energetic invisible information within us and around us at all times. You can be someone who just is able to read people very easily because subconsciously you're actually picking up on things that are in their energy. So again, there are so many ways that these psychic abilities exhibit themselves. But what I'm getting is because you have these abilities, you are more susceptible to this dynamic, or you were in the past because you weren't consciously aware of what it was. You used to be very susceptible to obsessing over people, whether I'm hearing especially romantically, you may have been someone who had crushes that would feel really all-encompassing, or where you would feed a person a lot of your energy. Or sometimes maybe it wasn't even romantic, or it was just random. There would be someone or something that you would start feeding a lot of energy into or thinking about really heavily without knowing why. And the reason for this in some cases, and in this case that's coming up here, is that at times people have subconsciously recognized how beneficial it is for them to have someone as powerful and as spiritually connected as you, focusing on them very heavily. And so they would subconsciously want you to be thinking about them a lot. And so they would signal you in a certain way, either in the 3D or in the spiritual realm or the astral, so that you would feel them kind of sending you a lot of energy, pulling on your energy, which in turn would make you think heavily about them. And then they would get some kind of payoff out of it. And again, often this would be totally unconscious on their end. They wouldn't really realize that they were doing this, but it would really affect you, because the moment that you really start fully living as someone who is psychic or someone who is energetically sensitive is the moment that you put a name to that feeling that you've had of people pulling on your energy or kind of distracting you energetically or spiritually. When you finally begin to connect the dots and consciously understand that for what it is, you can then really start setting up energetic boundaries accordingly. And what you can do is, rather than diffusing, I don't know why I said that word so weird, diffusing your energy externally to these different people and situations who, yes, are getting some kind of payoff from it, you can actually put that energy back into yourself and imagine. I mean, for some of you, you don't have to imagine because you've already started doing this and you're starting to see the results from it. But you can only imagine how powerful that could be for you if you are taking all of that energy that you once diffused. That word just hates me today. But if you were to take all of that energy and put it back into yourself in a pure way, you can only imagine how you would skyrocket into growth and success in so many different ways in your life, because your energy has always been powerful. And to be completely honest, there are people and forces who maybe haven't wanted you to fully know your own power, who haven't wanted you to fully explore what would happen if you were to take all of your focus and put it on yourself, because they may have been getting a hit consciously or subconsciously from having you focus your energy upon them instead of on yourself. Now, of course, this opens up a whole conversation, because mutually supportive forms of community are also really powerful, even from a spiritual and energetic perspective. Because when we're tied into forms of community, be it relationships, friendships, maybe for some of us, family dynamics, soul networks manifested here on earth, this actually can be so uplifting and inspiring and mutually reinforcing in really beautiful ways. So I don't want to undermine the value of that form of community. But I think for many of us, we have given away so much of our energy, our time, and our capacity to create and to inspire and to build. We've given away so much of that by kind of leaking that energy to other people who were not acknowledging or respecting us fully in the physical, to people in situations like some of these obsessions that many of us have had in the past that you may have experienced as well, where you would start feeding a lot of your energy, your time, your emotion into certain people or dynamics that in the physical world were not showing up for you, supporting you, adding to your life, giving back to you. And I feel like this is really where I want to say you are right at that breaking point where like life is really starting to get good for you, or it's going to start getting good for you. And I feel I'm speaking to someone who has been through a very difficult life this incarnation. And so I really mean it when I say like there's been this breaking point, and I feel like you've been feeling it as well, because you may be someone who feels almost like a sense of regret, like I'm picking up on someone who feels like they never really had a true childhood, or they never got to just play and be a kid, or they never got to just like have their teenage phase or have their, early 20s phase or whatever this is for you. I feel like there's this sense of having missed out on certain like social experiences or milestones in your life, because so much of your life has had to, of necessity, be so focused on, I'm hearing, just surviving in like really emotionally harsh or difficult environments or circumstances. And so much of your life has been focused on this survival, like just making it through, that I feel like at times you almost get this feeling of having missed out on the good parts or the best parts of life that other people got to experience. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who had this feeling of almost having to grow up really fast. But what I'm getting is all of that you went through was a preparation for everything that's coming next. And the feeling I'm getting is that for someone listening, it almost feels like there's a part of you worried that you've somehow missed some sort of window, or like you already should have peaked in some kind of way, or you already should have accomplished more, or you're late getting started. But no, like what your spirit guides want you to know is you are starting at the perfect time. It was always meant to happen this way. It was always meant for you to start whatever it is that you're doing now. Your timing is perfect. I know we talk a lot about sometimes how when you are someone who is a more advanced soul, like you are, and you are someone who is walking a very unique life path where you are clearing a lot of karmic patterns and facing down a lot of generational curses and really discovering your soul's purpose in this life, whatever this is for you, often it can feel like you are delayed. But I don't think I've ever said it in quite this way before. But for this specific collective, what I feel coming through is you think that there's been a delay, but there actually hasn't been a delay. And what I mean by that is everything that came before was always meant to be the preparation that it was. And if you had gone down a more conventional path, if you had experienced those things that a part of you feels like you missed out on, you actually would not have built the kind of powerful momentum within yourself that is now going to allow you to experience the full-blown manifestation of your wildest dreams. You are going to experience a level of fulfillment and happiness and magic and abundance and ease in your life that most people that you saw around you having these successes earlier in life, that even they could really never envision or imagine. And it's because you had the courage to be different. It's because you had the courage to embrace your unconventional path, because all of it was a spiritual preparation. Now, I know that we got a little bit off track, but I really needed to share that message for someone. So I hope that came through to you if it's for you. But I know we were talking about this person who seems kind of tentative, who came up midway through the reading. And the reason I brought this up, I know we went on this whole side tangent, but the reason we started on that tangent was because we were talking about this person who you have felt back in your energy. And I say back because I feel that for whoever I'm speaking to here, you may have not interacted with or seen this person for a while, or you may have accepted a while ago that they weren't ready to handle someone like you, someone as powerful as you. The word intimidating is coming out. And one of you left a comment once, which, wow, this comment, it was a perspective shifting comment. I loved this comment. And I forget exactly how you worded it, but I remember seeing a comment under a video from one of you that said that, remember, when someone is intimidated by you, it's not that you are intimidating them. It's not your fault, because I realized often in these readings we'll say, you're intimidating to this person, as though you're like owning that, right? And of course, it's kind of just a way of wording it, but it was a really good point that you are not the one doing something to this person by intimidating them. Like, you're not intimidating them. They are feeling intimidated by you because of what you are powerfully illuminating within them, which in this case is a higher version of themselves. Because what I'm getting from this specific situation is that you connected this person like almost instantaneously with this higher version of their own self. And they were like, whoa, I didn't know life could feel that way. I didn't know connection could feel that way. I didn't know love could feel this way. And I almost stumbled over the word love there, because I feel like that's something they may not have said out loud to you. They may have never said the L word to you, but I really feel it in their energy. And to be honest, I think the moment that they realized that they were in love with you, they had to pull away. I'm hearing grand finale and I'm seeing fireworks for some reason. But what I'm getting is, I heard something about the 4th of July, which of course is a holiday in America, but I'm not sure if something about the beginning of July relates to someone. But what I'm getting about this person is the moment they realized they were in love with you, they were like, oh no, I am going to have to do something about this. It was a moment of leap for them, or it should have been from a spiritual perspective. It was meant to make them leap into a higher version of themselves, that version of you that you introduced themselves to. However, I will say, really, this is their fault from some perspective. I say that kind of jokingly, but really, they manifested you in because this person had been living a really monotonous life and they desperately wanted to experience some kind of magic. They wanted to be broken out of this old world, this old version of themselves that they were in. And so I really feel as though they cried out to God, to the universe, to whatever divine forces they connect with. And they said, I want to experience something magical. I want to become the higher version of myself. And as the universe so often does, instead of, well, I should say though, the way that they answered this person's prayer was by sending them you, because you are this mediator. You are, I just got the most beautiful, like stunning, sudden, like overview of you and your energy. And it's so big, it's hard to put into words, but it's the best way I can describe it is it's almost like you are almost a spirit guide in human form. So you are this energy that connects people with a higher version of themselves, that guides people, except you're also in physical form, which, by the way, I feel just that in itself has complicated your life in a lot of ways, because it's almost like you're acting as sort of a part-time spirit guide while you are still physical and you are still human as well. And so this comes with a lot of complications because I feel you spend a lot of time in the 5D, in the astral realm, whether it's conscious or like unconscious dream state travel. You may wake up tired in the morning because of how much you connect with other people in consciousness, even while you're asleep. I'm not kidding. I really do feel like you are almost a part-time spirit guide while you are human as well. And so you were sent to this person and you felt this immense pull to them because they had manifested you, because you were their answered prayer. And the two of you connected and it was like electricity. It was magical. It was immediate. It was inevitable. And I feel something or someone or a group or an energy dragged this person back down to that lower version of themselves or convinced them not to take that moment of leap. But it's almost like when they fell in love with you or when they realized that they'd already fallen in love with you, because I really feel it was too late. Like once they realized it, it was done. It had already happened. They couldn't stop it. And that is why there may have been some grand finale between you before they pulled away. You may have actually had your most romantic, passionate, intense moment with this person before they left or before they disappeared. And this is because something clicked into place with them during that grand finale moment, as I've been calling it. It's the best way I can find to describe it. And once they realized that they were fully in love with you and that it was inevitable, they immediately like dropped off the face of the earth or ghosted you or pulled back. And what I'm getting is this person couldn't even really keep you halfway in their life because of how intense those feelings were for you. But here's the thing, and this is why this reading is getting so long, but it's funny, I came on thinking this was going to be like a 10 or 15 minute message, and here we are past the 30-minute mark, but I really wanted to get this thought completed here, or at least, in a complete tied up here for now kind of form. And then of course we may revisit it later. But what I'm getting from this person is they've still been coming up in your mind. And this has been so frustrating because you're thinking, why is this person still in my head? Why are they still in my energy? I feel like you do things to distract yourself, to move forward, to let go of this person, but nothing really seems to work. And what your guides want you to know is there's a reason this person is still in your head. Because again, as we talked about earlier, you are someone who's really stepped into your sovereignty, meaning you've learned how to not feed obsessive energy into people and situations who are just kind of half-heartedly manifesting that out of you to get a hit from it. You know the difference between that and something real. And the thing about this is there is still something real here beneath the surface energetically. You are feeling the live thread, the open connection of energy that this person never closed, that's still open between the two of you. And I actually feel that you are feeling them still heavily thinking about you and feeling a lot of emotions about you. And it's almost like they're refusing to let you go energetically and spiritually because quite frankly, they don't want to. But I keep getting this feeling as though they feel like they had to, but they don't want to. And that's where I feel like you're getting this sense of this person still holding on to you energetically because they don't actually want to let you go. But I keep picking up there may be other people or influences because I keep hearing like, I don't know, like they made me do it or they convinced me to do it. It's almost like they're displacing some of the blame onto people around them rather than owning their choices. This does give me a bit of like immaturity, either literally or spiritually, but you're probably already aware of that within this person. But what I'm getting is that they almost feel like they were convinced or not like, I mean, forced is a strong word, but I feel like they feel like there are things in the way or like people that really convinced them that they had to let you go and they listened to those people. I mean, for some of them, maybe they're in another romantic relationship, but I feel more likely this is like either friends or family members or people in their life that felt that they weren't worthy of you. That's the thing here. These are people that actually made this person feel as though they could not be worth your time. I don't know, guys. I feel something moving in this person's energy. And I know that this is unexpected because I feel like this is someone who's been like disconnected from you for a while, but you've still been feeling them so strongly. And I really feel like this person could come back in very quickly with that Knight of Swords coming up here. What is happening in this person's energy? Yeah, and the Knight of Pentacles. Like this person, whoa, I almost just dropped my entire deck there. This person, they want to come back in and make you some kind of offer. They want to show you that they can be consistent with you, that they can improve. It's like there's this quiet determination within them, even as they've been silent, even as they may have backed away, like they just never let go of you. They never gave up on you. I feel like this is someone really working to free themselves from something and take control of their life. Oh, I just heard something. The reason that this person never let you go fully, I kept picking up this weird possessiveness, but not in the negative connotation. Like, to be honest, what I'm getting from this person is they never outright told you that they didn't want you or outright like let you go clearly. The reason for this was actually intentional because they didn't want to let you go. So they don't want to see you move on with someone else. They don't want someone else to have you. There's like this level of possessiveness in a way. They don't want someone else to have you because they still want to be with you. It's almost like they wanted to just put this on the back burner. They wanted to just kind of like put this on the side until they were ready. But they also know that it's not fair to clearly say that or to ask that of you. And so I feel like now it's like they've let go physically, but they're still really holding on emotionally and spiritually, hoping that once they do find their freedom from whatever this is, hoping that you will still have them or you will be open to trying again with them or to moving forward with them in some way. I never make readings this long. I've made this reading so long that the background music that I loop prior to starting the reading has already given out. I will add it back. So by the time you're listening to this, you will still hear the music. But just to give you an idea of how far past expectations this reading has gone, maybe in itself, that is another message. Like there's something about this that just continues. Like there's something about your connection with this person that just seems to go on and on. Like it never really, I'm hearing there's no real natural beginning or ending point. That's what I'm getting here. And you guys, I have to mention, and I'm not trying to just, plug this just because, but this is really giving me a lot of vibes related to the song that I am releasing, my third song, which again might be out as of when you are listening to this. But the song is called Hard to Reach Places. And one of the lines is, we never really said hello. It was more like, where did you come from? We never really said goodbye. It was more like, catch you next time. And then it was over. Now we drift in and out like the waves. And the stillness feels unnatural and the silence got loud. So yeah, that's what I'm getting in the rhythm and pacing in this connection with this person. It's that you drift in and out of each other's lives or consciousnesses, but there's no natural beginning or ending point. It's almost like when you met, you almost instantly felt like you'd always been part of each other's lives. And then there's no real true goodbye. Like there's never really a true disconnection point. This connection just seems to kind of like go around and around is what I'm getting here. So you may find another message that relates to you, or maybe the song will just resonate for you if this is for you. So again, the song should be on Spotify either when this video is posted or very soon within the next few days. And there's a link to my Spotify if you want to follow in the description box underneath this video. But we are approaching the 40-minute mark. I am going to leave this here now, but I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll tap into this energy. So if this has been for you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And of course, if you aren't yet subscribed, I would love to have you here as part of our YouTube community. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I have been posting quite a bit more recently. And you can follow my music on Spotify, My artist name is Songs by Infinity. And also, if you do want to reprogram your subconscious mind and manifest in your life, my personal favorite tool for this is using subliminal meditation. And I have my own personal library of subliminals available to you in my app, which is named Sound and Soulful. So you can find the app by searching in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store, but I'll also leave a link to it under this video as well. So I think that's everything. I am sending you guys huge amounts of love. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope this connected. I feel like someone really manifested out this reading today because I was not at all setting the intention to do a 40-minute reading today, but that's just what wanted to come through. So again, thank you as always for being part of that process, for being here on the channel, and I will connect with you here again in tomorrow's video.